seasons, they've spent a lot of money over the last couple of years, but they haven't bought an out-and-out striker, an out-and-out number 9, in a sense of playing different players in that position. You started doing that when you were at Man City, you've done it a bit when you were at Arsenal. In terms of not having an out-and-out striker, can you explain the bonuses of that from a managerial perspective?
Well, I think having the players with different qualities give you different options, and always as well is related to the opponent. What behaviors do they have, and what are the players you have around that 9? You have midfielders as a wingers that they only come to feet, and a 9 that wants to come to feet, and attacking midfielders that are more holding midfielders, then you don't have any threat. You know, you have a 9 that wants to come attacking midfielders that are constantly threatening the last line, proper wingers there, then it becomes a different threat. You have players in the last line that can progress the play. Do you have players in the last line that can link to those pockets to have to make the runs and attract central defenders? It depends a lot of the qualities of all the players. You can't just isolate the 9. You have to see the whole thing, how it connects, and what kind of threats and things that you do. For sure, if you don't have a big 9 inside the box, you lose something. If you're going to start to crossball with your fullbacks, you're going to have probably an issue. But there are many ways to attack, and depending on the opponent, obviously, maybe that option is better than another one.
So in those sort of systems, are the midfield players like, for example, a Havertz or an Odegaard, as important as the guy who's right down the centre, or is it more the players like Martinelli who is approaching 100 games for Arsenal?
I think it's the combination of those qualities, and there are certain ingredients that you should have as a team to attack well, you know, and it's not only the 9, but it's many other players.
Finally, you don't know if Bukayo Saka is back this weekend. You won't know until after training. England are now qualified. Would you like to see, from an Arsenal point of view, maybe him getting a little bit more time off internationally, as we all know he's going to play in the Euros next summer, so that you have more options to use in this season, or do you think that's unrealistic?
Well, I don't know how they're going to approach it. Obviously, when our players are fit, we are really happy to let them go to the national team, and we always done that, and the players want to go, and I think it's a great fulfillment and opportunity for them every time they are there. So if players are fit, they're going to be available to be taken.
But he's seen as the jewel in your crown and the jewel in England's crown as well. We don't want him to burn out this season.
No, you don't, but you don't know the balance. But you ask the players, sometimes they feel much better when they are playing every 3 or 4 days. You know, they can get a knock, they can get an injury. This is part of the game.
George, hello, Mikel. Does Saka want to play tomorrow?
I'm sure he wants to play.
He told you he wants to
I don't see any player there that he doesn't want to be in the starting 11.
And on Saliba, can you just explain what the injury is? It an injury to his big toe? I mean, it sounds like it's quite a rare injury. And
yeah.
Is that a reoccurring problem? I mean, could this basically plague him till the end of the season, or is it just a one-off?
Hopefully not, but obviously he's been carrying that for weeks now, and we have to use that time as well to settle, and we believe that it was the best moment to do it.
So is he a doubt for tomorrow, or do you...
Depending again how he's able to train today.
Just in terms of Chelsea, I think when you took over at Arsenal had a bit of a problem with winning away against rivals, and you turned that around. I think you could beat Chelsea 4 times in a row. So have you just got better players now? Is the mentality going away at Stamford Bridge? You're now favourites. You know, how's that all come about within the squad that they can go there and win?
I don't know. It goes, I think, game by game, and tomorrow they have a really strong squad. They play at home. We have as well. We're in a good moment. We'll try to play better than them and beat them, and that's it. And what happened in the past, it doesn't really matter.
And just a word on Pochettino. Have you had much dealings with him over the years? What do you make of him as a manager and a person?
Well, first of all, obviously, it was my first professional opportunity in Paris, and we just arrived at the same time. We lived together in a hotel for 3 months. He was critical. He's been one of the most influential persons in my football career, first of all, as a player. Without him, he took me under the arm like this, and he looked after me like a little child, a little brother, and it was big part of the success that I had in Paris. It was because of him, because he really looked after me, gave me a lot of confidence, a lot of advice, and he's been a role model for me since that day. Not only when I was a player, but as a manager as well, because we have to make the decision to leave playing and start my coaching career. He had a big say on that, and I will be always grateful to what he's done for me.
Have you had dinner since he's been back in London?
Yeah, we've seen each other a couple of times, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, go to Mark from PA.
Just on that, when you did retire as a player,
There was talk that you might have linked up with Maurizio. Was that something that was ever close?
Probably that was because of our relationship, but I had various opportunities to go, and I didn't know, and I wanted his advice, obviously, and his experience, and that was very important for me as well to make the decision that I made.
When he came back and went to Chelsea, that is a bit of a poison chalice at the moment, Chelsea job. But do you think with his experience and what you know about him, he can turn it around?
Yes, you can see already that something is changed very quickly.
James, see this?
Mikhail, I'd like to ask you about your penalty takers. You've had 5 different takers of your last 10 spot kicks in the league. Do you have a set hierarchy? And if not, because it seems not, what goes into the decision about who takes the penalties?